It has been so long since I've played this game. And the only reason why I downloaded it is for a video. I do not plan on playing this at all. I don't think I ever actually followed the game until a certain point. But I know about Shorekeeper. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. Shorekeeper, my beloved. Again, I'm not even gonna play the game, so this is useless. This is useless to me. Yeah, there's just way too much new stuff here. Seriously. Please spend responsibly. No. If I get a 5-star from any of these, I will go and continue playing this game. I don't know. I actually don't know how far I am. Can I take it back? I actually did not want to play anymore. What the hell is that? What is that? I don't know what to say. I do not know what to say. First time coming back in over a year, and this is what I come back to. I want a refund. And I got it within the day, the final day that it's supposed to be available. Okay, you know what? Okay, all right. This is gonna be even bigger, even impossible here. So if I get another 5-star here, I will definitely continue playing this game. I will definitely continue after this day. Okay, good. I don't understand. I do not understand what the hell that was earlier. Yeah, sure. I'll give me another copy. Why don't you? Give me another copy. That would be insane if. Hey. Hey, 2 characters. All right, so we got one new character and then an extra character. Okay, dope. What are the chances? Like, this game really wants me to continue playing. We are here for something else entirely, and that is, well, doing a quote-unquote redux of a video that I attempted doing back around, I think about a year ago. I don't remember how long ago this was because it has been a long time. The last time that I attempted to do this was around January 8th. So by the time this particular video goes live, it should be around 8 months, close to 9 months since that recording. And the reason why I wanted to do a redux of this one is because the last time that I did this, it wasn't done properly, just to put it nicely. So here I am today, close to 9 months later, and I've decided that if I'm gonna do that video, I can't just half-ass it. I need to do this properly. And as such, yeah, we're gonna go and rate the characters in Wuthering Waves. I don't remember how to go to there. It ain't guidebook. It ain't databank. This is gonna take me a while. Oh, it's gallery. Yeah, because this is where we get to see all the characters in its full glory. So how many characters are there in total now? So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 34. We have 35 characters. 35 characters to react to. So let's not waste any more time and just get right down to it. We're gonna go all the way at the bottom. Likely start, yeah, we're gonna start off with all the 4-star characters and then work our way up to the 5-star characters. That's what we're gonna do. And as such, we're going with Chishiya. I remember when I first reacted to Wuthering Waves when it was first starting out. I remember her being a character that I am interested in terms of looks. And as far as I can tell, yeah, I think that still rings true to this day. I don't remember what I said regarding this character when I first did that recording, but I do remember placing her fairly high. I don't remember if she's a 10 out of 10, but I think she's like a 9, maybe an 8 out of 10. And now that I actually get to see her in full 3D, no PNGs this time, no 2D assets, I can safely say that this is a 8 out of 10 character, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. It's mostly down to how unique she looks. Also, look at those freckles. It's the details that work for me. It's the details of a particular character that gets me going. And seeing freckles right here, yeah, I definitely am infatuated by it. Ready, next, Yang Yang, the poster girl. I will say this. When I first played this game, I remember playing this in English. And now keep in mind though, this was around launch. This was around the launch window of Wuthering Waves. And when I first heard the English VA, I was less than impressed. I don't know what happened around that time, but the English voice acting for Wuthering Waves around the launch window, there was just something up with that. That rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it was, but there was something about Yang Yang's voice in particular that didn't resonate with me at all. It just feels so strange. Or perhaps it's more like maybe the voice direction wasn't in the right place. But with that said, the VA is weird as hell, but damn. The character design, on the other hand, call it generic all you want, I think this looks great. I think this looks fantastic. I think this actually looks pretty good. From the stockings to the hairstyle, the hat, even like honestly just down to like the little details of her outfit, they just look so damn good. Even the hair back over here, if you look at it through a silhouette, you can kind of tell that it looks symmetrical, but the styling of the hair is anything but. In 2D, I was kind of concerned when I saw the 2D asset of Yang Yang in that video attempt that I did back in January, but seeing her fully realized in 3D, I think that in terms of execution, they did it so well. They did an exceptional job in creating this character in terms of character design for a gacha game. And as such, I would probably give her a... Do I give her a 10 out of 10? Do I give her a 10 out of 10? That's a question right there. I feel like she might be missing something though. I'm not so sure what it was. I'm not sure what it is exactly. I think the only reason why I'm preventing myself from giving her a 10 out of 10 is that not everything about her is perfect. Character design, I probably would say that it's amazing. But after listening to her English voice acting, it kind of just like reels it back in a bit. But we're talking about character design here. We're not talking about English VAs. We're not talking about like voice acting or any other outside factors though. In terms of character design, I do think that this would be a 9 out of 10. It's better than Chishiya, but I think Yang Yang definitely like gets me to lean heavily more towards her than it does with Chishiya's design. So there you go. That's a 9 out of 10 right there. Okay, Baiji. A researcher in remnant ecoacoustics. Eco acoustics. Not bad. Not bad. There's a ball in the middle in the hair. It's like maybe a 7. Yeah, I think maybe a 7. Here's the thing. I do think that it's good, but compared to what I've seen so far, it's not as good. It's like this. I'm giving it a 7 because I think a 6 is too low and an 8 is too high. That's my reasoning right there. There's that thigh strap, actually. 7.5. I think a 7.5. The thigh strap just bumps it up to a 0.5. It's fair enough. All right. Alto. Okay, if I remember correctly, when I first saw this guy, I only saw his backside. That's the only thing that I saw of him. And quite frankly, I don't think... No, wait, no. Was it him or was it someone else, actually? No, it's a different character. It was not Alto, it was someone else. But I'll definitely let you know which one I'm referring to exactly. Unless, for those of you who play the game, you'd understand who I'm talking about. Now, with that said, though, Alto... I'm trying here. I'm really trying here. His hair is more voluminous compared to Albedo from Genshin Impact, so that's gotta mean something. It looks more floofier. Or at least it appears to be that way. I actually don't... Well, yeah, it's more volume. It's got more volume compared to Albedo's hair. So, yeah, there's at least that. Aside from that, though, it's like, I don't feel one way or another. He's not bad. Yeah, I won't say he's badly designed. But, I guess there's just certain male characters that I would feel a connection towards. This guy ain't one of them. Not a bad design, but I probably would say a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I think a 6 out of 10 should be fair enough. Yeah, flower right over there. There's also the little metal things that he has on his shoulder. Tauchi. Yeah, at the time, my main for a while. And you know what? Maybe for good reason. Maybe for 2 good reasons. But in all seriousness, though, yeah, thigh strap right over there, and then I do like her armor. Yeah, I do like her outfit in general. The fact that she has, like, yeah, cloth, like, the dress over here, and then also the armor pieces around her shoulder, her arm. Realistically, she'll probably get killed pretty easily, but we're not talking about realism here. We're talking about the character design itself. We're not talking about functionality. We're only talking about how good they look. And as far as looking good, yeah, this checks some boxes for me. I will wholeheartedly admit that. It doesn't hit as much compared to when I first played this game, but there's a reason why I played as her. I'm sure there's better characters out there, but she definitely has a place in my heart. And as such, I probably would give her an 8 out of 10. I still think that Yang Yang is better designed, but she does hold a special place. Alright, Mortify, whatever. Yeah, this guy I do remember, and... Man, bro, I am feeling something compared to Alto. If it means anything, I actually do feel something for him compared to Alto. Brother, look at those eyes. Look at the hair. Honestly, just his head alone, it looks great. And then top half, as we get lower, yeah. The design on his chest, though, that looks pretty good. Arms looking pretty good. If only I get to see what his other hand is, though. Can I see that? I mean, kind of. We can kind of see that. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I like the design of his hand right there. I will say, I will be giving it a higher rating compared to Alto. And I probably would say, I would also give this an 8 as well. The design elements that's found in Mortify looks pretty damn good. It fits well with the character. Well, I personally think so. But yeah, 8 out of 10. This is an 8 out of 10 character. Sanhua. You know, I don't think I ever really noticed this until now, but yeah, her eyes look different. Yeah, one's normal, the other one looks like it's like, it has that mark that everyone else has. I don't know if anyone actually noticed that when playing, but yeah. He has a similar mark on his chest, and then I saw that Yang Yang has a mark just on her forehead. Chisha has one on her, yeah, on her like stomach area, and then Sanhua looks like. Let me see. Anywhere else? Nah, not her thigh, but it definitely looks like she has a similar mark, just on her eye, like right in there. Damn. You know, it actually kind of reminds me of the Lassie mark in Final Fantasy 13, and the Lassie mark can actually be found in various parts of the body. It could be on someone's thigh, it could be on someone's arm, I believe, and in some cases it could be on someone's chest. Though I think this is the first time I would ever see a mark that's on, like, directly on someone's eye. That is in Naruto. But yeah, that is an interesting detail, though. But as for character, though, yeah, she looks kind of cool. This is pretty badass. The ribbon's got its own physics. All right, you know what? I appreciate that. Kind of. It kind of has its own physics. I guess in terms of, like, game design, I'm not so sure if this is independent or if this is fixed. But regardless, though, it's a nice effect. Nice. Nice. I'm just trying to go all around. And head-wise, that looks pretty good. And then all the way up to the stomach area. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. The beads do sell it alongside the neck piece that she does have on here. The mole just below her mouth and then going lower. Yeah, she looks like she's ready for war. Looking at her even more, she looks like she's about to go to war. Probably would die considering that she doesn't have any armor to speak of, but you know what? She's going out with style. That's my conclusion right there. Just based off of that, I think that she is a 9 out of 10. Poor Chisha, like she's just getting she's getting left in the dust. But yeah, I do think that design-wise, I resonate with this. All right, Danjin. I don't know about this. I really don't know about this. I'm sure I gave Danjin a fairly high score, like within an 8 or a 9. No, I think I definitely gave, there's a good chance I gave her an 8 or a 7. It's like in between there. But looking at her now in full 3D, I don't know. There's something about it I don't like. And I think it's down to the color of her outfit. Because you got gray right there, charcoal over there, and then you have a gradient of like, I don't want to say charcoal, but I don't want to say maroon either. But then it just like goes into red, maybe like a tinge of orange, maybe. I'm sure there's a lore reason why she has an outfit like this, but I don't think it fits that well with the overall character design. Yeah, there's just something about it I don't like. Maybe it's what I mentioned earlier. All things considered, though, like it's not that great. And I like red. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. I actually like red, but something about the color scheme of this character doesn't resonate well with me. I think it's just the way that the gradient works alongside the other outfit that she does have underneath it. So on that note, it's like maybe, nah, I think 5 would be too harsh, wouldn't it? So I think a 6 should be fair enough. because there are certain elements that I do like about this character, like her head. Her head, it actually does look nice. Nah, I'm sticking with a 6. I'm sticking with a 6. I was about to like knock it down to a 5 because of her hair, but you know what? Yeah, I'll just give it a 5. I'll just give it a 6. Yeah. I'll stick with a 6. All right. Yuan Wu. All right. This is one of the males that only has his back facing the audience. And yeah, I will be real, 2D wise, he just looks weird as hell. He looks kind of weird with his like contrasting hair. Yeah, his hair, and then you got the beard as well. Like it goes from blue to gray. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Like, it's just trying to show his age, but they just made it a little too obvious. I'm sure there's a lore reason why characters look the way they are, but something about it just doesn't feel right. And bro, what is up with his outfit? Can he not afford the entire coat / wear? Yeah, I just don't gel with this guy. Nah. Even with his milady hat, it's not doing it. It ain't doing it for me. This is a 4 out of 10 character right here. I'm sorry to all of you Yuan Wu fans out there. Sorry to all 3 of you. But yeah, I do not gel with this guy. So that's like a 4 out of 10 at best. Pray that I don't go any lower. All right. Yohu. The hell's with this sassy kid? All right, anyway. Uh-huh. Hey. What the hell are you looking at? Okay, so in seriousness, let's see. The ahoge right up there. Then you also have the little hat. I actually did not realize that she's wearing a hat. How the hell does that stay on? I don't know if I like the pigtails as much. It's unique, I will say that, but unique doesn't usually mean it's good. It just means that it's different. I don't completely hate the hair though. All right, moving on, and then we also have the big ornament just on her chest. I can't even imagine how heavy that is, alongside her back, whatever's on her back. Then, yeah, thigh strap right over there, and then, yeah, the shoes ain't cutting it for me. What are those? And yeah, even her face, I probably would say, okay, eyebrows are weird, but I do like everything else about her face. So yeah, the lips, the nose, the eyes, and how the designer utilized them. I will say this, there's more good things to say about Yohu compared to most characters that we've seen so far, especially of those that are of the lower end of the scale so far. So as such, I probably would give her a 7 out of 10. All right, Lumi. God damn, rats got back. Okay. Immediately, I like her face. The dot. I do like the dot eyebrows. Her eyes, which look so sparkly, and then also her mouth too. Just the overall expression of Lumi looks really nice. That combined with her hair, alongside her ears well, not ears, but I think it's more like her hair that resembles ears. Though then again, it could also be ears as well. No, they're not ears because her ears are just right there. I just realized. So yeah, that's just her hair styled to look like ears. Fake rat. Her overall outfit. The jacket looks really nice. Yeah, I'm actually digging the jacket. Then yeah, her bodysuit. What the hell is... Lady, what... Lady, are you okay? Look at how compressed her thigh looks. The poor thing. It needs to breathe. It needs to breathe. And yeah. I would definitely give Lumi a 9 out of 10 in terms of character design. Although I did hear that in her English VA, she has a European accent. Though I don't remember if it was Scottish or Irish. All I know for sure is that her accent in the English VA does sound cute. It does sound really nice. But again, though, I'm only just judging based off of the character design. I think if we're also including VAs, I probably would give it a 10 out of 10. But considering that I'm only looking at it from a design perspective, I would give this a 9 out of 10. Alright, now that we're done with the 4-star characters, we can now move on to the 5-star characters. Starting with Rover / Viridian. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say about Rover? Compared to Lumine in Genshin Impact, this is a fantastic design. Female Rover specifically. Male Rover, I think, if I remember correctly, I put male Rover fairly high, like within an 8 or a 9. And as for female Rover, I believe I put her up to a 9, maybe even a 10. It's within there. Looking at her in 3D, if you told me that she was a 5-star unit you could get, I would just believe you, period. Because she doesn't look like a main character. She just looks like she's a unit you can get. I don't know if y'all like actually realize what that really means. To me, it means that her design far exceeds what a typical main character in a gacha game would constitute. So to me, saying that is a very high compliment. I would probably give this a 9.5 out of 10. She does have the opportunity to get a 10 out of 10, but I need to feel out the rest of the cast a little more before I bump her up to a 10. But for now, just for now, I want to give her a 9.5, and then later on, if I do end up going back, I might end up giving her a 10 out of 10. But for now, 9.5. A 9.5 out of 10 is good enough. Then we got Encore. She's a cutie patootie. Yeah, she's just cute as hell. Like, look at her. Look at that smile. Then her hair, which actually does look kind of cute. And then her outfit, I mean, you know what? Her outfit's not exactly all that, really. Then you also have her feet. She just looks like a doll. I know, funny, but yeah, she does look cute. But I think that's all I can say about Encore. It's just that she's cute. Though, honestly, though, I can't help but feel that I've seen these eyes before. I've seen this style of eyes before. From a completely different game with, like... Yeah, I've just seen these eyes before from a completely different game. I think, Editor, if you know what I'm talking about, you could just go put it right there. Yeah, and even the doll itself is kind of freaky as hell, which does match up with her gameplay style. Which, again, we're not talking about gameplay, we're talking about character design. And as far as character design goes, I do think that Encore deserves an 8 out of 10. No. I think that might be a little too high, actually. Because is she on the same wavelength as Chishia? That's my thing. For a 5-star character, I would say that she is a 7 out of 10. I think a 7 out of 10 would be fair enough. Because the only thing I can say about Encore is that she's cute, but nothing else beyond that. Alright, Vernia. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, looking at her now, I don't know how I feel about her. I actually do not know how I feel about her now. Because something about her hairstyle and then her leggings over here and then her tail here. I know it's not a tail, but it does resemble a tail. There's just something about her now that I'm looking at her doesn't really like... Something about it doesn't feel right, you know? The hair over here, yeah, these, I don't know why they're styled like that. And then, I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Like, it's attempting to resemble vines like the one that she has over here. But I don't know. This is pretty much, we got Nahida at home. But as far as Nahida copies go, well, there's worse. But it's like I don't really feel one way or another with her. So it's like a 6. There's like at least an element or two that I do like about Vernia, because I do think that the color seems to be good enough. I also do like the idea of having flowers in her hood. Wait, flowers in a hood? What the hell? You know what? That kind of brings it down to a 5, maybe. Yeah. I'm not a fan of whatever this is. I don't know what the hell. Janshin. I like the colors, and I do love the execution behind it, the inspiration. She's supposed to represent the yin and yang. So, yeah, in terms of execution, I do think that this looks nice. It's not perfectly executed. There's, like, certain things that I am not entirely a fan of. Like, example, what the hell is that? What is that? What is that on her leg? But overall, though, I think if you were to ignore the bottom half of her, I would say that the top half of her actually looks pretty good. In fact, if you were to angle the camera like so, if you just focus on from the waist up, it looks really good. I think if she wore actual pants, this design would work. But bro, that ahoge is bigger than my future. Jesus Christ. From the hips down, it just looks weird. However, from the hips up, though, if she actually wore pants, I could actually see this being an 8 out of 10 design. But as it stands, I think this might be like a 7 out of 10. Go. 2 out of 10. Immediate 2 out of 10. Okay, to be fair, though. It is honestly very hard to rate this guy when I played as him. Because his gameplay, yes, it is kind of trash, but it's also kind of fun at the same time. Listen, man, I'm a Frank West main, so I work for my shit. But honestly, though, like, from a design standpoint, it's like, I get what they're going for. I do get it. And in terms of execution, I do respect the fact that they did it. But it's not a design that I would fawn over. I mean, brother, look at his feet. What are those cotton balls on his feet? Again, I'm sure that that's the point of his design, but it doesn't ignore the fact that they look kind of stupid. Although I will say the ends of his pants do look kind of good, but I don't know why. They remind me of like bell-bottom pants, but they also have the second function of sweeping things under the floor. They just remind me of a broom or a mop. No, a mop is definitely more accurate. And judging from the wear and tear of what happens like a little higher from there, I can see they gotten some use from it. The ears look stupid. The face itself looks kind of stupid. This is just a clown-ass design. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all you Ling Yang fans, but this just don't look right, you know? To me, at least. This does not look right at all. It's like maybe a 5 or a 4, actually. You know, it doesn't really help that I think the last thing that I did when playing Wuthering Waves before logging out entirely is that his design is that I did his story quest, and his story quest was just stupid. It was honestly probably the most cringiest thing I've ever seen. Design wise, it just doesn't work. I think it's like a 4 out of 10. It does not work for me. Sudden Sephiroth, oh god. Okay, this is the guy I remember I've only seen the backside of. This is the one that I'm referring to. And so far, okay, you know what? I kind of gel with this. Okay, all right. His eyebrows do look a little sharp. It looks like it could cut through butter. And I like his eyes. The eyelashes, nice. The overall hairstyle, yeah. Oh, you know what? No. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a character in Inuyasha. More specifically, he reminds me of Shishomaru from there. Yeah. Okay, no wonder I gel with this guy more, because he just reminds me of Shishomaru. I likely butchered his name, but editor, put a picture of him on there. I hope to God they know what I'm talking about. I will admit though, the colors of his outfit do look kind of muted, but at the same point, I do think that they work in this instance. The muted colors of Calcharo is executed a little better. If anything, he kind of reminds me of... The head reminds me of Shishomaru, and then the rest of the body kind of looks like... If you take out the skirt, it kind of reminds me of, like, either Raiden or Snake from Metal Gear Solid. It does look functional, I will say that. And on that note, I believe that Calcharo warrants an 8 out of 10. Maybe even a 9, but again, I'll have to feel it out. But I think he's a safe 8 out of 10. All right, Ji-Yan. It's already not starting out good. We're already on the wrong foot. Yeah, there's something about the neck. I get that it's part of his outfit, but it doesn't excuse the fact that it looks kind of stupid. I like his arms. Well, arm. Only one side of it does look kind of cool. The other side, it might need some getting used to. His gourd. Then his pants, not bad. I do like the color scheme. Yeah, I do like the teal turquoise color scheme that he does have. I don't know. I think had it not been for the neck area, it probably would have been maybe an 8 out of 10. I think this would likely be a 7 out of 10. It's not bad, but there's certain elements of his character design that prevent it from going any higher than that. Yin Lin. Oh my god. God damn. Okay. All right. So, for context, I think I explained this before when I did that recording, but I explained earlier that when I attempted to do a video, a video that's more akin to that Tower of Fantasy video that I did way long ago. And it's just talking about, in detail, about how I felt about Wuthering Waves at launch. And I think around the time when I was going to start editing, I attempted to see if I could get Yin Lin. And unfortunately, I did not make it in time. But if I did, though, I think I probably would have stuck around a little longer. Because I think that her design actually looks fierce. Looks fierce as hell. Look at the ears, the ear ring, the eyes right here, the face, the hairpin. And that's just talking about her head. Look at everything else about her. Her body, her outfit, the color scheme. Then you also have her feet too. The way that it curves along her body. Jesus. If I had this character, this likely would have convinced me to just switch it from Genshin to this. I swear to you. Everything about her looks fantastic. I don't really have anything negative to say. I think if I had to nitpick, it probably would be the light that she has on her arms. I think that's the only drawback that I could find. But that's just potatoes compared to everything else about her. Look at that. Look at that. Just goddamn. I love this color scheme, bro. And on that note, yeah, I think it's safe to say that this is our first. No, is this our first 10 out of 10? Well, I guess technically, yeah. I guess technically this is our first 10 out of 10 because Rover is a 9.5 leaning towards 10. Yinlin might actually be our first 10 out of 10. Jinsi. Yeah. Yeah, I remember this character. I remember when I first saw her, I thought that her character design in 3D didn't exactly translate that well. But her 2D variant, though, does seem to be pretty cool. My only worry, though, at the time was that when I was, quote-unquote, rating their 2D art, I was worried that perhaps, like, my memory might be a little skewed. But looking at her now, it's better than I remember. It's a little better than I remember. Not entirely, but because I do think that I don't think it does the 2D art justice, but at the same point, I was expecting worse. I was remembering maybe worse. The only thing I can't get over is just her. Yeah, there's just something about her hand accessories that I'm not exactly a fan of. More so this, like the rings that she has over here compared to over here. I think her hand accessories over here actually fits her a little more compared to the rings that she has over here. Then, yeah. Face, not a fan of the eyelashes. Though I do like the earrings. I do like the face. Hair looks cool. Yeah, hair looks kind of cool. I see a mole in her thigh, her inner thigh. Could be better, but could be worse at the same time. So I think this kind of balances out to like a 7 out of 10. All right, Changli. It's good, but I don't think it's great. I do like her face. I do like her hair. I like her hairstyle, but I don't like her hair color. I don't know if I'm like liking the gradient of her hair from like salmon to white. It just reminds me too much of sushi. Though then again, it might be the hunger talking. I don't know if I like the fact that the gradient does eventually lead to the feathers that look like eyes. Not sure if I'm a fan of that. Then her outfit, it's fine. Yeah, I do think it's fine. She reminds me of a goddess of some type. Then here, markings, yeah, like I'm not exactly like a fan of that. The asymmetry over here doesn't gel with me as much. And I'm referring to her arms in this case. I'm sure that there's a lore reason behind this, but might be a little too try hard though. Just a smidge. Though I will say, the thigh strap does bump it up to at least a guaranteed 6. But does it go any higher than that is the question. The thigh needs to breathe, for God's sake. That looks uncomfortable. On that note, though, like a 6 or a 7. Which one do I even go for? It's like maybe a 6. I think the other thing too is the lone belt that hangs on her, like on her core. So it's like, well, not core. I think it's more like this area right over here. Like you can see it for yourself, like in her front, like around her midsection. I don't know why, but there's just something about this area over here that kind of pisses me off more than it should. It's like it's only here just for like, just for people to look at rather than for functionality. I think that's my main gripe with that. Jeji, or or however you want to pronounce it. I remember giving her art, her 2D art, a fairly high rating. I think it's like a 7 or an 8. It's within there. And looking at her 3D model, okay, I like the eyes. I like the overall face, how it looks. Her glasses look pretty nice. The earrings look kind of cute, and then yeah, now that's really good. That's really good. I like the style of her hair from the back. There doesn't seem to be that much functionality. Like looking at this, looking at her like her back though, like, you know, the garment that's like around her shoulders and then it just hangs off like that. Top half does look pretty good. And then looking at it, oh Jesus Christ, that's a big block of gold. See the paintbrushes. Is she a calligraphy artist actually? An artist for hire trying to make a living. Reserved and timid, she's not good with words, but speaks volumes through her art. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So she's an artist then. All right, in that case, then I guess the outfit does make sense then in that respect. Yeah, this is a really good one. Yeah, I think this is one of the good ones. I'd probably give her an 8 out of 10. I think she's pretty close to being a 9. But I think for now, I'm just going to put her on an 8 out of 10. Shangli Yao. Okay, I remember when I rated his 2D art, to me, it seemed kind of stupid. But I also knew at the time that it's not fair for me to judge a 2D art when the 3D model is where things like would be fairly rated. Looking at him now, I do see why people would gravitate towards him. I'm not a fan per se, but I do understand why people would gravitate towards Xiang Li. Yeah, I do like the design of the arm, and then yeah, the hair could do a little bit of work, but ooh, whoa, hang on a minute though. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm a bit of a fan of the head thing, of the headpiece on the back. Face isn't too bad. Yeah, the face ain't too bad. The sash that he has over his shoulder could also be a metal piece as well, just based on the texture. I probably would give this guy a 7 out of 10. It's not for me, but I do get why people would gravitate towards Xiang Li. I'm saving her for last. Okay, Camellia. Yeah. Okay, you know what? That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. I do like the outfit. Is that part of her ribbon? Or is that her hair? I can't tell. No, that has to be part of her ribbon, right? There's no way that's hair. Like, I'm trying to see. No, that has to be a ribbon, right? There's no way that's hair. Regardless, it does look nice, though. It does look nice. I like her eyes, and then her hair. Her little flower up there. Then, yeah. Rest of the outfit. It does look neat. The ends of her dress do look nice, too. The legs. I get what they're going for. I don't know if I agree with it though. It's like I should be back and forth with this. I think I'd rather that they just put more of the dress like where her core is. It'd probably look more ballerina-like if they were to add whatever's missing like within the crotch area. But I do think that if they added that, I probably would say it's better designed. I'm gonna bump it up to an 8 out of 10. I think if they added if they extended the dress a little more, it would look more like a ballerina type dress. But I do think that it works a little better as that compared to what we have right now. It's pretty great, but it ain't perfect though. All right, Carlota. Yeah. Something about her eyes don't look right. Then, yeah, her headpiece up there, nice. Her bow. It does match her outfit. Got a little insignia right over there, like where her neck is, and then... Not bad. Not bad. Okay. The only thing I don't vibe with is just her arms. And I'm not talking about, like, what she has on her forearms and, like... and her hands, but rather the design of the outfit here. Just cut them, lady. Just cut them so you can actually fit in them. In all seriousness, though, it's cute. Don't think I agree with the way that the boots are styled alongside the thigh highs. It's like maybe a 7 out of 10. All right, we're almost there. All right. Rosia, or however you want to pronounce it. She reminds me of ice cream. I don't know why. I get where they're coming from. I understand what she's trying to be style-wise. It's like, I don't... Do I? I just don't like the color scheme overall. It's like there's blue here, there's pink here, and then there's also like a darker shade of purple down over here with her outfit, and then... a mask right over there, a key right over there, a bow right over there. There's just something about it I don't particularly like. So, it's like a 5 out of 10. It's like I don't feel anything towards her. I do understand why. I understand why they went with it. I just don't agree with it. So, I think a 5 out of 10 is fair enough. Phoebe. Something about her bangs don't look right. Although the hair here, though. They kind of ruined it with the bows, though. If there's a way to take off her hat, I would probably judge it better. But her bangs don't look that good, and then you have like her bows in the back. Not a fan. Other than that, like it looks nice. Looks decent-ish. Her staff looks cool. And then you also have her outfit, which does look kind of cute. Got a little pocket watch. Or I think it's a pocket watch. I don't know. Her sash. Then I do like the little details of her knees right over here. I do like that. Yeah, looking at this. Knowing that it's exposed like that. I don't agree with that. No. Yeah, there's just something about her outfit. Now looking at this angle, it just doesn't sit right with me. This one's a 6 out of 10. There's more things that I like about Phoebe compared to Rosia, but overall it's like, yeah, there's just certain things about Phoebe that I don't like that much. Brent. Now, this is a man right here. Bro is a pirate. Yo ho ho. Little detail right over here on the hat. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I do like the style of the hat. That actually does look pretty good. And then, yeah, I like his eyes. His hair looks pretty nice. The overall outfit, I actually do dig his outfit. I actually quite like it, especially the top half. The top half of his outfit looks swanky as hell. It actually does look fresh as hell. Bottom half, I mean, it could do a little bit of work, just a teeny bit. But overall, I likely wouldn't change anything at all. I probably would say he is a 9 out of 10 character. Alright. Cantarella. Where do I even start looking? Where do I even start? Her umbrella looks great, and then... Okay, you know what? I like her hair. I like her face. I'm trying to, like, come up with anything that isn't her body. That isn't just her body. Her earrings do look kind of nice. Her hair at the top here. I did not Oh, yeah, and then, yeah, her headpiece, too. Yeah, I actually agree with that. The bottom half, especially, does look pretty good. Yeah, color scheme-wise, I pretty much just vibe with this. All right, now we can go and talk about her body. God damn, lady! I'm just admiring this work of art right here. Although, again, the thigh. Let the thigh breathe, bro. 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. No question. God damn. Now that's a woman right there. There's girls and then there's a woman. There's women right here. This is a full-fledged woman right here. God damn. Yeah, her horns, her hair, her eyes, eyelashes, her lone earring that's a key. The back looks fantastic. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God damn. All right. Her tail right here. Jesus. I think we got ourselves another 10 out of 10 right here. This is definitely a character that I would love to have. Siakona. Again, however you want to pronounce it. These character designs, I swear to Christ. It seems like they finally picked up their character design work from that point on. Jesus! Look at that! Yeah, starting off with her eyes. Come on, open them up. Yeah, Her ears too. The way that her horns are styled. Well, horn and a half. The hair is just great. Top half of the outfit. There is nothing to complain about with this. Absolutely nothing to complain about. Going lower, up into her knees. Then to her feet. Like the full body. And then the microphone. The style of the microphone? Bro. Gee. Yeah, the fabric being used here. Like for her arms. Brother, like it's like magnificent, man. I'm sorry that I'm not saying like much in terms of like criticisms or anything like that, or like my opinions, but I'm just like infatuated by this character design, man. Like it's that good. It almost rendered me speechless, man. Come on, give me a break. I think this is gonna be another 10 out of 10, man. I almost want to get her just for her idol animation. Just based on that alone. Cartethia, or however. I like what they're trying to go for. And I do agree with a lot of like the design cues here. It is cute. I will say that. In fact, she herself looks cute, you know? Especially with the way that her face looks. You know, I think it's thanks to characters like Giacona and Zani and Cantarella before, and even Brant, that like I think the bar has been set pretty damn high. So seeing Cartethia like this, it's like maybe an 8 out of 10. I like the color scheme. Make no mistake about that. I also like the outfit I also do like her face as well. Not so much the outfit, because I think there's like improvements that can be made with an outfit like this. But overall, I don't hate it. In fact, I kind of like it, but it's far from being perfect, let alone great. Lupa. Now this is more like it. Oh, and she's part animal too. Okay, I guess that's fine too. I do think that this overall design looks nice. Face looks pretty good. The gradient on the hair looks great. And then hair pieces too. Yeah, I do dig the hair pieces. Her gladiator wear right here. Nice, nice. The badges too. I'm not sure if I agree with the outfit though entirely. Okay, you know what? The more I look at it, the more that it looks a little worse. Not that it's entirely bad. Like what I'm trying to say here, that it went from a 10 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10, and then it might gradually go down to like maybe an 8 out of 10. But I need to look at it a little more. Yeah, over here, like where her thigh is exposed, I don't know if I agree with that. Then right around here, where her core, where her like her armor pieces are, yeah, it's. You would think that for a gladiator, she would wear more armor pieces, but no, apparently this is all that's needed. And also apparently that her armor pieces also jiggle as well with her movement, so that kind of bumps it down for me a bit. Armor pieces don't work that way. It's going to be bumped down to a 7. I know, it is very harsh, but it's my ranking. And then this character that I just recently got by complete accident. Frolova. God. And you know what? Looking at her now, I don't think I regret getting this character. There's a story to be told about her. And yeah, the dress itself is reminiscent of the flower that she's holding. In terms of style, I think this actually does look fantastic. It looks beautiful. And I love her facial expression right here. Then the bandage as well. Yeah. I think if there's a nitpick that I have to address, it's likely the hair. I probably would change it a little bit, just tweak it a little bit in terms of hair color, but overall, this is great. I think that the overall design of this character is like works in terms of, from an executional level, is near perfect. So this would be a 9.5 out of 10. And I'm actually kind of glad that I accidentally got Frolova for some godforsaken reason. And now. You know, if there's any character out there that would convince me to go back and play Wuthering Waves, it'd probably be Shorekeeper. Shorekeeper is the character that, had it not been for outside factors that I won't go into like into detail right now, it probably would be her. It would definitely be her. And you know what? Probably for good reason too. The eyes, the eyelashes, the overall face, the design of her head, the outfit alone, Everything about her looks beautiful. Beautiful like a butterfly. Just mesmerizing to look at. This is also another 10 out of 10 character. Now, something that I have noticed when looking through a lot of the characters that are available here, I can't help but notice that there's like a massive imbalance between male characters and female characters. You can also make the argument that it's like an ongoing problem with most gacha games, but this one makes the problem far more apparent. Because I remember that there are certain characters here that were available at launch that also comprised of male characters, but as the game progressed, there seems to be less of a focus on male characters. Because, at least based on from what I can tell, Kalkaro, I don't remember if he was a new character or not. Well, if he was a post-launch character, but there's him, and then there's also Brant as well. Xiang Li Yao also. I don't remember Alto, actually. I do not remember if he was part of it. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of male characters that released since post-launch. There's mostly just female. Now, personally speaking, as someone who is a waifu enjoyer, it's not a complaint, I would say, normally, but it's just something that I have noticed. If they could design these female characters so intricately, with so much detail and so much love, care, and attention being put into like all of their designs, it kind of makes me wonder what the designers would do if they were given the opportunity to make more male characters. And honestly, Brant is probably a good example of what would happen if they were to design a male character. This actually does look pretty good. I actually like this. But overall, again though, maybe with a few exceptions here and there, I do think that a lot of the characters in Wuthering Waves do look fantastic, especially in recent times. Between the characters like Zani, Shiakona, Frolova, Shorekeeper as well. In terms of post-launch content, I think that a lot of the characters that are newly introduced to this game look amazing. They look amazing as hell. And it kind of makes me wish that I did continue playing this game more, if it meant that I could get characters like them. But I think at this point, it might be a little too late for me to join in with Wuthering Waves. And I'm not saying this because like I hate Wuthering Waves, far from it, because I remember in the video that doesn't exist anymore, I remember talking about how that I do love certain visual aspects of Wuthering Waves, and I also did love the combat mechanics for the game itself. In fact, I probably would compare it to a fighting game almost. But I think what turned me off from Wuthering Waves was the launch problems that other gacha games like Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail did not have at launch. Had it not been for the launch issues of Wuthering Waves, I likely would have stuck around a little longer compared to the first few weeks or so. But overall, I think if I stuck around with Wuthering Waves, I probably would have been more receptive towards it. I probably would have been more excited about it compared to how I was back then. And yeah, you know what? I think with that though, I think had it not been for that, I probably would have I definitely would have played it more. I definitely probably would have. So overall, damn good. Damn good. I do think that a lot of the characters in Wuthering Waves in terms of character design look beautiful. But realistically speaking, would I ever actually go back and play Wuthering Waves? Never say never, but I think the likelihood of actually going back and playing the game is slim to none. Not only because I have so many other games that I would rather play, life also happens as well, so it's even if I wanted to, I don't have as much free time compared to back then. Compared to when I was still making YouTube content regularly in the sense that like just before my my break. That's what I meant by. So saying that now, if I were given the opportunity to go back and play Wuthering Waves without any outside factors, I probably would have said absolutely. But considering how invested I am in other games like Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero, and not even talking about like the other games that I do have on the back burner, whether it's games like the games that I have been playing overall in the channel so far, like Mario 64 or Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, or whatever the case may be, like later in the future. There's just too many games that I would love to play, but unfortunately, due to certain circumstances, I just don't have the time to do so anymore. But with that said, I think if given the opportunity, I definitely would go back to playing Wuthering Waves, because it was genuinely fun. I actually did enjoy the combat of Wuthering Waves far more than Genshin Impact. But overall, yeah, I think like this will definitely be the last time I'll ever talk about. Well, no. I think like there's a good chance that I might end up talking about Wuthering Waves in the future, so I don't want to say. So never say never, but the likelihood of it happening is pretty slim. But if for whatever reason you do enjoy Wuthering Waves content, if you want me to go and play some more Wuthering Waves, if for some reason, then yeah, you're more than welcome to leave a like, leave a comment, and if you want to see me react to other characters in other games, whether it's in gacha form or just video games in general, just let me know down below, and let me know if you vibe with whatever I'm doing right here. Until then, take care, guys.